to another episode of It's Those Guys Game Reviews. We're back.
Because there's been no games these past few months.
Yeah. But anyway, we found one, and we're going to do a review on it today.
I enjoyed the vacation, though.
Today's game we're reviewing is Darksiders II for the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Is there a PC version?
I don't know.
Well, there's eventually going to be a Wii U version, so whatever. If you're waiting for that, go ahead. But for those of you who want to play it now, here's the review. Darksiders 2 is Darksiders 2 is the long-awaited sequel. Well, I don't know how long-awaited it was, but people were looking forward to it, or at least expecting it. And it came out from the first Darksiders game, which I have to admit, I did not play yet.
Yeah, the game came out like 2-3 years ago. 2009?
I don't think it was that long ago, was it?
I don't know. I remember hearing someone say it came out around 2009.
Darksiders 2 is a game that seems to take a lot of ideas from other games to incorporate them into this game. But I guess if you're going to borrow from something, you might as well take from the best. The combat aspect is pretty interesting, if not something we all haven't seen before. Bit of a mix of God of War with some Devil May Cry thrown in. And of course there's a combo counting system, and why wouldn't there be in this day and age?
The game also introduces a leveling up system in which you can upgrade moves and gain more HP and Wrath, as it is called, a gauge that is needed to execute certain power moves in combat. As you progress, you can use a quick option menu where you can place moves to certain button combinations to help make the combat even more devastating and interesting.
You did leave out 2 games from that equation. Dragon's Dogma, because it has this whole free roam in it, and Mass Effect because it's got a power wheel, which in Mass Effect lets you select your weapons that you use or your abilities. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yes, because we're reviewing Mass Effect right now. Adding to the fact that you can switch between primary and secondary weapons for more combo devastation.
Just like Dragon's Dogma.
Of course. And yes, there's even combos in the air. The plot of the game is pretty simple when you look at it. The story pretty much picks up from the event of the first Darksiders. Death is pretty much out to prove his brother War is innocent, and in this own personal quest to resurrect humanity from destruction, seeing as how they all died at the end of the first Darkstalkers.
This, of course, leads him to run into all sorts of interesting people along the way, not the least of which is a group of orange giants with Scottish accents called the Makers, which despite the fact that they're twice your size, they can't seem to solve their own problems.
A problem a lot of adventurers seem to run into all the time.
So obviously it's up to you to risk your life and fight the corruption, as they call it, which seems to be the main plague that's causing all problems for the Makers and which is blocking the path to the Tree of Life that Death needs to get to in order to start resurrecting humanity.
What the hell? That looks like something you find out of a Metroid game.
But anyway, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, after all, we don't want to give away too much of the plot. The game itself also likes to add in such things as open world exploration and, of course, dungeon crawling. Dungeons are pretty much what you expect to see, riddled with enemies and puzzles to find your way through.
And filled with even more familiar things you've seen before, such as locked doors to which you need to find keys to open.
I mean, seriously, I'm surprised they didn't use this sound when you open a door with a key.
Really? That's the best thing you could come up with?
All in all, exploration is there, and even though a set path can be seen before you, I mean, after all, the map pretty much has a bright orange spot that tells you where to go next, you can still wander off the beaten path and find hidden and not so hidden places. So at the end of the day, the game actually does give you a very interesting challenge, and it does increase throughout while you play the game, and more powerful bosses, more powerful enemies, which kind of makes you feel like the leveling up system is almost useless, because for some reason when you get to a certain part, they're almost on par with you and they're kicking your ass all over the place. Thankfully, the game does actually give you ways to restore your health and wrath through little vials of energy, which you can use to consume to, like I said, increase your health or increase your wrath in case you're running low and you really need to do that. So, with that being said, I think this game is actually a pretty
It very looks decent. I mean, because it's got elements from different kinds of games in it, mostly hack and slash. But that's an interesting charm.
It pretty much takes the best out of a bunch of worlds and puts this in this myriad stew of just excellence.
Whatever. No comment.
Word of the day, toilet paper.
What?
So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and give this a 4 out of 6. Because while it still has a pretty good, oh yeah, we changed it to 6, by the way. Don't ask. While it does have a decent amount of pretty good content. It just seems like it borrows a little too much for anything else. But then again, like I said before, where else can you go these days?
And my score is 4 out of 6. No, 5 out of 6 because, hey, it's got elements I like in it.
Alright, this has been another episode of It's Those Guys Game Reviews. We will see you next time.
Lamb chop.